Yes, so myself, Jaimin Patel. Our project is on international airport. So first is the locational analysis, in which the macro and micro analysis of location and site is done, which determines that the selected site is suitable for the airport or not. In macro analysis, we have selected 4 locations which are connected to DMIC corridor. The main reason for proposal of airport. We have found our best location by considering various parameters and their weightage and then calculating the scoring model. After selecting the location, we have done the micro analysis, in which within the city 3 cities were identified, and this weighted scoring was done by identifying land factors, connectivity factors, environment impact having their weightage percentage. The site 3 which has no existing villages, no river passing through it, and is far from coastal zone area is finalized. Next is the legal compliances. In this, we have considered all the phase-wise different legal compliances and approval which would be taken for our airport project. So first, in the inception phase, there is a company registration, site clearance, in principle approval, then defense clearance, then next is zoning planning approval, then coastal regulatory zone clearance, then next is the environmental clearance, which takes highest for approval around 1 year. Then comes the grant of license, then Bureau of Civil Aviation Security clearance, and air traffic services. And then comes the planning phase. In this, there is a NOC for tree cutting, then borewell registration NOC, then mining approval, then highway NOC, railway NOC, then comes the fire clearance, and then explosive approvals, then DG sets installation approvals, and last is the terminal building layout approval. And finally, in the execution and closeout phase, there comes the registration for principal employer, then permanent water connection, permanent electricity connection, and permanent sewage connection, which comes under the 3 basic amenities. So concluding this part, the total cost for the all legal approvals in our project is around 2.8 crores, and it will take around 14 months for approving all legal approvals. Next is the resource management. In this, we have done the resource allocation and comparison of the early start and late start cost for the design part of our project in MSP. So we have taken the design task and their durations. Next, we have categorized all the resources among the different consultants, which are the architect consultant, MEPF, structural consultant, then interior consultant, then facade consultant, and airport system consultant in our design part of our project, and the early start dates and the late start dates of our design task. And finally, we have concluded the cost difference while taking net present rate at the rate 10% per year and 0.83% per month. So the cost difference we got is around 15,000, and the cost variance is 0.1412%, which is very low because there are more activities in the design part are in series, and hence we can say that the client can start the work on the late start time from the consultant's end. Next is the financial analysis for our project. We have done the financial analysis for the terminal building as well as the other airport facilities. For our finance, we have prepared the capital expenditure for our project, which is from the year 2018 to 2024. In 2018, we have the land cost. Then in inception phase, we have considered the feasibility and EIA report charges and legal approval cost. Then in planning and development phase, we have considered the design consultant fees, and in execution phase, we have considered the construction cost of terminal building and other facilities for 3 years. Then in which the highest expense is in the 2023 by 31% for execution phase. Next, we prepared the operation and maintenance expenditure, for which we have forecasted the expenses for 20 years, which are the staff cost, repair and maintenance cost, general administration cost, electricity cost, water cost, and insurance cost. And below is the graph which shows the O&M expense for the initial year, and in which we can see that the highest cost is of staff cost and lowest is of the water. Then next, the financial analysis, the assumptions we made is the land cost is around 323 crore, then the terminal building cost is around 899 crore, and the other facilities cost is around 600 crore. So total cost for our project is 1823 crores. And for the case we have considered the four funding pattern, which is first is the 30-70, second is the 70-30, third is the 50-50, and which last is the fully public. So from this we have considered the 30-70 debt equity ratio. So as for the debt plan, the total interest would be 675 crores and the total EMI would be 1951 crores. Then next is the revenue, in which the project revenue starting from the year 2025, for which we have considered the two services, which is aeronautical services and non-aeronautical services. And last is the output of the financial analysis of our project. So first there is a graph of the cumulative profit after tax versus year, from which we can see that the break-even point for our airport comes in the 2037 to 2038, and the IRR, internal rate of return, for our project is 13.45%, and the net present value is 3026 crore, and the debt service coverage ratio is 1 for the year 2030 and 2031. Yes, so next is the environment impact assessment. In this, first the potential environment parameters are identified. Then the impact of construction and operation phase of the project are on the parameters and evolution of the environment parameters, and the mitigation measures are provided for the parameters. So parameters are categorized into three main categories. Further, each categories consists of several parameters, like ecological includes terrestrial ecology and water resources. Then physiochemical parameter includes soil, water, air quality, noise level, and last human interest parameters includes economic impact, environmental, and tourism development. And this is a table showing the calculation of the total environment value. The green highlighted value in the last column indicates the impact is positive on the parameter. Then the air water quality, water resources, and parameters having negative impact, while employment opportunity, economic growth, and tourism development having high positive impact due to the development of this project. Hence, the overall project has the high negative impact on environment, which indicates provided mitigation measure should be implemented.